Welcome back, YouTube friends, family, and viewers stopping by for the first time. My question is, have you ever taken a photo and done your best to get everything right just to get it home later and realize there was an object or a person in the frame that just subtracts from that photo? And even if you would have realized it before, or maybe you did, you just could not, at the time, remove that from the frame. Well, to make that photo truly superb, Luminar 4 gives a set of tools that makes it really easy to make that image crisp, clean, in just the way that you wanted it. So today in this episode, I'm going to be going over 3 different ways to clean up your image of unwanted objects and people in Luminar 4. Before we get in, if you're curious about Luminar or you're thinking about buying it, please use the affiliate link in the description of this video, as it'll help save you some money and it will help me and my channel as well. So thank you already for that. So, when we dive into Luminar, the first way to really clean up that image, and absolutely the simplest, is the crop tool. It will help clean up the edges of unwanted shadows, unwanted objects, unwanted people. And it can help center your rule of thirds as well to make it more eye-catching. So, if we look at this photo, it's actually one of my top selling stock photos. It was of a family vacation to Jamaica, and I just caught this one morning with the sun on my back, the blue water. But if you'll notice down here at the bottom, I also caught my shadow. Didn't realize it at the time, probably because I had a 6-month-old strapped to me, but when I got it afterwards, definitely was unhappy that I did not catch that detail. So if you simply just go up here to Tools and click the crop button, crop in, and change your aspect ratio, or even level your horizon, which is also key. So one little powerful tool that probably doesn't get enough credit. So let's go ahead and crop in here. Let's adjust the photo a little bit and hit done, and boom, instantly way better than before, more just pleasing to the eye and tells a better story. But we're not done there, because I said we had 3 different ways to clean up a photo. The second is just going to be the erase tool. Luminar has some great AI, and they've provided a tool that will act called the erase tool, where you can just paint the area that you want to fix. Now, the way that this does this is by pulling in from pixels around the painted area to replace them. It does a great job for simple fixes, removing logos or small things, but it can struggle on more complex removals. Looking at this photo, one of the things that I really don't like about it were some of these little objects here out to sea, not so much of the buoy line. Doing travel photography, most resorts have that, but I don't like these yellow floating rings through here. So I'm just gonna paint those all through those and hit done. And the process erase tool, they're actually creating all of the layers for you, so you don't have to do it. So once it processes, you can see it's done a phenomenal job removing all of those. A little pro tip: if you want a straight line, you can click and hold the shift key to do one straight line to paint with, to make it easier for you. And also, you can use the open and close brackets to change the size of your paintbrush without having to move. So, pretty easy. Now, I already mentioned that it doesn't do great on more complex removals. Here's a photo that I took earlier this year in Snow Canyon in southern Utah. Big family started to walk into the photo right as I took it. Now, At the end of the day, don't judge me on the photo. I know it's not one of the best ones, but I'm using it personally, just like you should use some of your less perfect photos to develop your skills. So I could crop out this family. I'd probably lose a lot. In doing so, I'd lose a lot of the foreground or the right side of the photo and lose a lot of the massive rock face that was in front of me. So that's not really an option. I can prepare the layer and hit the erase tool, just like this. As you notice, it did erase them out. It added in some foliage, some rocks, but it just doesn't look natural. And that's where it's pulling in those outside pixels and just replacing them. So what do you do in a situation like this? And the answer's simple. It's the clone and stamp tool. So if you go back to tools and hit clone and stamp, what this is going to allow you to do is select a start point that you can paint those pixels into a new area. So I'm going to hit clone and stamp. I'm going to select my start point here in this area of brush in the foreground, and I'm just going to start to paint that over the family and add that in. But obviously I don't want to just have it all look the same and repeating, as it won't look natural. So what I'm going to do is hit Alt or Option to choose a new set point and start to paint that in also. I'm going to do this a couple times here, getting various foliage from the foreground and the midground to paint in to give a much nicer look. Now, this isn't perfect. I'd probably add a little bit more in there, but you can see the power of the AI working in a way that just was not available in the erase tool, and certainly not in the crop tool. This should definitely add more tools in your toolbox when it comes to correcting those frames that were just not quite how you wanted them, or you just weren't quite able to get what you wanted because of the conditions around you. So I hope it gives you a lot more confidence going forward. And if you've enjoyed this video and found some value in it, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. If this isn't the type of video that you enjoy, you can hit the other button as well. I enjoy all feedback to let me know what I need to do to continue to help you extend your photography skills. Thank you so much. I'm Dustin Hall, and if it's worth doing for money.